friend Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Today's video is an awesome video. This is a video that I have wanted to put out for a long time. I'm talking about, I probably should have done this video 8 months ago, but I didn't have all the material for it, and I wanted to wait until I did have. So I'm going to be introducing you to some really special people. And before I get to all that, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's fast, free, and easy to do. And I know you're going to want to be a part of it. All you got to do is go to the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little red box, tap on it, and you're subscribed. Also, give us one of those thumbs up. Lets other people know it's a great video to watch about retiring to Lake Chapala. Okay, so the video that is actually following is a video taking excerpts of individuals that have actually gone out with me on the Relocation Tour, about going through all of the neighborhoods so they know exactly what to expect. Being able to see from different elevations what the lake looks like, medical care, hospitals, pharmaceuticals, when it comes to restaurants, culture. I mean, there's so many things that entails this tour. But what I've been wanting to do is to share with you, not my speaking about it, but the experiences that other people are having from it, have had from it. One of the things I get asked a lot is, and I'm saying I get asked a lot, I get asked from folks when we're actually in the car traveling on these tours, what gets me to care so much? And it's something that comes off on quite frequently. And here's what I got to say. I know when we came to Lake Chapala our first time, we got here April the 15th, I think it was, of 2021. We were here for 8 days. We didn't know anything, zilch. Had no idea who to contact, had no idea what to go see, had no idea what questions that we needed to ask that we didn't know that we needed to ask. So this video is all about individuals that I've had the good fortune of being out with. Now, this isn't all of them because I've got way too many to put everybody on a video, but I've taken some from different videos. That way you have a chance of kind of seeing different perspectives. So this is really an important video. In it, I'll have my information, the contact information, if you have an interest in getting in touch with me to get information about you're going to be coming to Lake Chapala here in the near future, and you'd like to reach out to me. And I start out by email, and I'll have that in the video itself. And but if it is, and I just want you to know, my calendar fills out quickly, and the reason being is I only do one couple a week. And in doing one couple a week, as you can tell, once I've got 4 or 5 couples in a month, that month is locked up. Now, you know, another thing that I want to say is something that bothers me. And that is anytime that I'm speaking with one of our viewers and they talk about they've been to Lake Chapala, but they didn't get much out of it. That isn't what I want you to have to say. Now, there's way too many people that are coming to Lake Chapala for me to be with everybody. So it's just a select few. And I get, right now, I probably get 10, 15, 20 emails a day asking for help. And so I have the ability of being able to go through those, and I can't get back with everybody again. It's just way too many. But what I'd just like to share with you is the reason I'm making a video like this is because I don't want you to have to be one of those ones that makes the investment of money. You get an airline ticket, you're going to be staying here for a week. I mean, you've already right there, you've got like $2,000 invested. Your time here, the food, the meals, everything. Well, let me ask you, if you're putting all that investment in and you know that someone like myself has got a service for you that will give you what you're looking for, it's going to answer all the questions. It's going to help you check all the boxes when it comes to your visit here, of being able to make sure you're not wasting your time. You're not wasting your money. So that's the reason I've put this video together, because I do care and I care about you.
Mary and I are from Texas, and we're coming down to Chapala to visit. to get a good understanding of the area and the culture, the people, and we wanted to do that in a way that we had some real value from this visit.
Well, I'd like to first of all do Melody, if you can kind of share a little bit about yourself and what's got you here.
Sure. So originally, I was born and raised in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Went to school there, and then had an opportunity in 1992 to move to the United States, where I spent 26 years in Texas, Florida, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. Retired, and then one of my sons suggested that maybe I should just move home. And so in 5 weeks, the moving truck was on its way, the plane was landing, and I was back in Calgary. So I've been there for 4.5 years now. Went through a lot of family situations there, including a 102-year-old mother who passed away, COVID. So I'm glad that I was back in the country for that, and then other family situations that had happened. But now life has settled down again, and I feel like I have one more adventure.
My name is Art. I'm originally from Los Angeles, from California. Spent my life there. About 4 years ago, I moved to just outside Memphis, Tennessee, and I love it there. No reason to leave, but I have a dream to live in Mexico. A calling. My family was from Mexico about 175 years ago, though we've been in the States. So I found Lake Chapala thanks to Jim's website, and I've been paying attention to it for a long time. And so I took a trip down here, and here I am. It's been fabulous. The last 2 days, I've found out so much information. And I got to tell you, traveling with Jim's like being with a movie star. Everybody in town seems to know him. Everywhere we go, every corner we turn, somebody stops to say hello to him. That's been a lot of fun. But he's all business. I'm going to tell you, it's been fabulous. I could never, ever have discovered all the places we've seen in the last 2 days on my own. So it's been invaluable in that sense. We have been everywhere. I just going to kick my shoes off. I'm exhausted.
Hi, I'm Sherry Smith-Weisman.
And I'm Gunter Weisman.
And we are from Southern California.
Jim and Kathy, I want you to share a little bit about yourself with us.
We live halfway between Phoenix and Tucson, Arizona, and we are looking for a place to go in the summers to get away from the heat. So I was told probably 6-7 years ago about Lake Chapala. A lady that worked for me actually retired down to here, and a friend of mine that owned a body shop in Oregon, his dad retired here, and I have just always wanted to see it, and it kept coming back to my mind, and here we are.
Okay. Kathy, you want to add anything?
I just thought it would be neat to come down and just look at things, but I didn't realize how beautiful it was down here, and everybody's so friendly, and I think this is a wonderful place to come.
Today we're with Brian.
Hello.
And Brian, maybe you share with us a little bit about where you're from. And
I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I'm down checking out the area with Jim. And I've been to Mexico many times, but not to this area. I've been mainly to the beaches. And so this is a little bit different experience. And I really like what I see. So obviously, I wanted to come down and check it out.
this is Lou and Jackie. And first of all, Lou and Jackie, share with us from where you're from, maybe a little bit about yourself.
Oh, absolutely. We come from Red Deer, Alberta, and that's Canada, of course. We live out on a farm, and we're country folk, and we're looking to make a change.
And we are here with Jeff and Laura, that they're here actually from Mississippi. And we just spent the last 2 days together in regards to the relocation service.
Like I said, I'm Jeff Matthews. This is Laura, my wife. We're looking at retirement. My wife here, Laura, is already retired. She's been retired for a year. And I'm looking at retiring in about another year. And hopefully moving to Mexico. And this is the area that we've chosen to look into and to see if this is a good fit for us so far.
Okay.
And Laura, yourself.
So I'm a retired school teacher, and I work full time now from home remotely for the Vacationeer travel agency. And we also have a teenage son who will be relocating with us as well. He is the baby and the caboose. So he'll be tagging along for a little while, and we're very excited and look forward to him having that opportunity to see another part of the world. So it'll be 3 of us.
Well,
Do a little video with us.
let me tell you, Jim, this is a small price to pay for all the help you gave me. And I'm being very serious about it, because for me and for everybody to come down here, you want to have the best possible information that you can get,
Right.
because of the fact that this is another country, and if you think you know what's going on down here, you really don't. And to be able to have the most effective use of my time, you know, I depended on somebody like yourself that has already come before me to go through all of the hiccups and hurdles that I would have encountered, or only worse,
Right.
except for the fact that you've been here for a long time and you have been able to get through all this and understand it.
And so here I am now. This is day 2. I'm here for a month. I'm so glad I have so much more time here because Jim has just been magnificent. He has introduced me to the whole area, down side streets and places that I never would have known existed.
We've really had a good time together the
We
last 2
have.
days, getting to know each other, and a chance of being able to see Lake Chapala. A question I might ask you is, if you've seen a lot of our videos, would you say that if you saw the videos and just came, you could have the same experience that you've had without spending time with me here?
No, the videos, I'm sure I've watched everyone. And the videos are excellent. But when you are actually here and you are experiencing it and you are seeing it and you have the people around you and Jim is explaining, there, look over there. It's an entirely different experience. And yeah, I would have come here and I would have missed so much. And I would never have met all of the contacts that you've introduced me to.
And what would you say has been like the highlight? What would you say are some things that really stand out for you?
Meeting you and Barbara and spending time with you.
Oh, yeah.
Quite honestly, it's just, that is the greatest value is meeting Jim and Barbara. Despite all the things you need to live here, meeting them and seeing how truly wonderful people they are makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say the most valuable thing other than that would be Jim's tours of the neighborhoods to show you the different possibilities and the different ranges that are available at the time that you come. Those places could come and go. So when you show up with Jim, you may or may not want to make a decision whether you're going to rent, because those things will disappear.
If you got dropped in a parachute here, do you think you could have done all this on your own?
Absolutely
No.
not.
No.
No, if I'd have got dropped out of a plane on a parachute, I would still be trying to figure out where the hotel is.
Before we got together and such, what was your anxiety like?
Well, first of all, I've done litigation for the last 34 years. So it was pretty high, and I'm at an age where, I'm getting tired, but in the last 5 years, I've discovered I have very high blood pressure. To the point where a few months ago it was 229 over 119. So I've been in the hospital a couple times because of that. However, since I've been here, I took it the other day and it was 124 over 90, which has not happened in 6 years.
Would you say that, as you mentioned, you watched a lot of our videos.
Right.
But when you got here, it was totally different when you have boots on the ground.
That's absolutely right. I have watched a ton of videos, and you'd think, okay, I just go there and I do this, this, and this, but it's not very easy.
I really appreciate the resources that you have, the people that you know, and the care and direction that you want to help us with. to give us a shortcut instead of finding the wrong people, making mistakes. I really, really appreciate that, because that I think that's probably what can happen to people. They find they get here, they're excited, they connect with the wrong people, find out that they make mistakes, and that takes all the joy out of it.
Right. So do you think that if you would have been, I use the analogy, dropped out of a plane on a parachute and landed at Lake Chapala, if you would have been able to accomplish what we've been able to accomplish for the last 2 days?
No, I think we would have been sort of fumbling along blindfolded. When we first got here, we checked into our hotel, even our first night, walking out the door going like, do we go left, right? How do we find something to eat? What time are they open till? These were pretty basic issues to have, but that was just the very beginning. So I can't imagine our first day waking up going, okay, do we go 5 blocks further? Do we go another mile further? We covered so much territory. You showed us amazing vistas, and the vista you have here is amazing. So we've seen the lake from many angles, but we've been up and down the road. We've, seen some places that you drove us past, pointing out like where they were, the communities, how much they were worth. So, I mean, that gives us a really, really good feel for like what's available.
The cost, that what people were actually paying in rent in some of those places also, and what some of the properties were valued at, or what they paid for the property, and so you would say to them, if they're looking to come in here and they haven't planned or decided to do it already, is to make sure that they do a relocation service.
Right.
And not doing it would be a big mistake.
Big mistake.
Because you'd flounder around.
Yeah, you're just not going to get as much done. You're going to spend more money. You're going to spend more time. You're going to there are going to be more fights in the car between you and your significant other. More disagreements about which direction you're driving and such. But yes, by all means, it simplified just beyond anything we could have imagined. It took so much guesswork out of everything.
Would you say that you have saved thousands of dollars by
hours and hours of time,
hours of frustration?
Hours of frustration. We explored today on our own, and we had a goal of checking out 2 communities today around here, 2 little towns, and we headed out on our own, and we had a great time and saw great stuff and had great food, but it was a great day, and we got absolutely nothing done. We didn't know where we were. We didn't know where we need to be. We didn't know where the car was pointed. We didn't know. I mean, we were at the mercy of just keep driving and let's just see where we go. So it was a great.
That was the fun part.
Yeah, it was a great day of exploration.
Yeah.
But not the productivity when we were with you.
Right.
Definitely not.
So you folks had a good time too?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
And it couldn't have happened without you the way it did.
Okay.
It was it can be pretty stressful, so you definitely helped take stress and anxiety and drop it way down.
And then we went with the insurance agent.
Yeah.
And you just had a whole lot of great things to say about the insurance agent and how he took care of things for you. Want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, he sure did. Again, another valued resource that I don't think we'd ever find that kind of a resource coming here. We wouldn't even know where to start.
Right.
And to get to that caliber and quality of person that took the time and walked us through all of our questions and just beyond our expectations.
Right.
Just the value was just so great.
And you spent an hour with us.
That's right.
And wasn't it amazing? You were really surprised of how inexpensive it was for the insurances compared to the states.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very good resource.
Yes.
Really a good guy.
Yeah.
Has the fact of us being together and doing what we've done basically exceeded any kind of expectations that you would have had coming down?
I'm going to tell you as simply as I can that this would have been an insurmountable hurdle for me. Because when I look at things, I analyze it from afar, and that's okay up to a point. But when you get boots on the ground,
Right.
and you're actually dealing with people from another country that doesn't speak English and shouldn't have to speak English, and then I have to deal with the fact that I'm not familiar with what's going on around here,
Right.
it is imperative that you have somebody that knows something about this place and the people that you can trust, because the most important part of this is gaining a cadre of people that will allow you to be able to make decisions based on the trust that you have with them.
Right.
So it's important for people to understand that you can come down here. I could have come down here and never have met you. And where would I have been today? I wouldn't have been nearly as far. I would have gotten information that may or may not have been relevant.
Right.
And that's really the important thing. Because when you want to move here, you want to have everything as put together as you can, because you get here and you're still going to have things that you have to deal with that, you know, we didn't cover, and that if you have more stuff to deal with, it's just that much more difficult for you to, you know, assimilate yourself into the society here.
Right. So would you say that with the time, the money that you've invested, our time together was worth it?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I would encourage people to do this.
Jim has made this explaining everything so easily. I highly recommend anyone thinking of coming here. You're going to need somebody like Jim to show you around and tell you the ropes and the how-tos with everything, because we would have been just checking things out probably for another couple of years before we knew what to do. So we're very grateful that we came across Jim. Actually, my husband found him. My husband is a video watcher, so he found Jim, and here we are. But it's been awesome. You got anything to add to that?
Do you want me to continue on? For me, it's a little bit different. I like to plan ahead, so it's been quite some time that I take an interest in moving to Mexico. I've been in the United States since '85. When I first learned about Jim, it was a natural thing for me just to reach out and connect with him, because his service was very enticing. So we watched a lot of his videos. I watched a lot of the area. My wife likes the area too for the videos.
Beautiful here.
And so we just wanted to come down here to kind of snoop out the area, to see in life if this is something that we want to do, where we want to move to. And I think that day two we decided this is it.
Day two we decided that we
So it didn't take us long to say this is the area where we really want to live.
Yeah.
And with all the help that we got from Jim, it was making the change from one country to another literally a breeze. It will be still things coming up once we move down here in a few months, but it will make the whole process so much easier.
And the other thing is once you develop a relationship with Jim, you have all of his contact information. He is here to help you. You can telephone him, you can email him, and he will get back to you pretty quickly with a response. So,
Would you say that our time together, with what you were able to experience and what we were able to accomplish, has that exceeded your expectations?
Yes.
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 Okay.
More than we ever thought it would be. Yeah.
In what way?
Well, in the fact that you strive so hard to answer all of our questions, and if you can't answer them, you find the right people that can. And I really appreciated that.
We specifically, I got to go to the things that I wanted to see and things I wanted to accomplish with them. We've checked everything off the list, I believe.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Plus some things.
Plus some things. Oh yeah, plus some things. Found places to eat, of course, importantly. Was able to go to Lakeview Medical Center and talk to the people there and what it's going to take to get all set up with my insurance, my Medicare. Went to the Guadalajara pharmacy, and the gentleman there was the pharmacist, was kind enough to spend a lot of time with me. looked through my medical list that I had and told me what it was going to cost me out of my pocket, what required a prescription for my stuff from the United States. And I got a lead on that, so heads up on that. So that was really valuable. Found a dental office. So I'm really happy about that. And one of the biggest accomplishments has been actually seeing types of property on both ends of the spectrum. Very large place that was rather affordable, and in about an hour and a half, I'm going to go see a smaller place that's less money. So I'm going to get a real feel for what's available out here. I've seen a lot of different communities. Got to go. Had a great tour of on the east end of Jocotepec, and then of course of Ajijic in the middle, and then we went down to Chapala and ran along the Malecon. Got to even go souvenir shopping. So I'm exhausted.
Did what we got a chance to see and do and experience, did it exceed your expectations?
Oh, absolutely.
And we also got to be with Andre today.
Yes, and that was a real concern. So, healthcare for people over 70.
Yeah.
And so I met with this very nice gentleman today, and he actually walked me through the whole process, pulled up a plan that would work for me, gave me a quote that was, well, I think phenomenal, because I was expecting many dollars more, pesos more. And so he was very, very helpful, and I really enjoyed meeting him, and I will be seeing him again, I'm sure.
And it was something that you might not have been able to do if, in fact,
No.
if we hadn't met and you just came down.
What people don't understand about the relationship, the short relationship that we've had, is that there's a lot of things that go on in the background, that you're making the calls, you're discussing the schedule.
Right.
You're setting these people up, because people have to realize that getting a person to sit down with you is a big deal in Mexico. And for you to have it set up is invaluable beyond your wildest dreams. Because
Right.
for me to have people like my insurance guy that you had met me, introduced me to, SNS Auto, where I went and talked to, Karen, I don't think I could have had the same door open as quickly.
Right.
Because these people have lives and they have businesses to run, and people have to understand there's a lot of people that want their time.
Right.
And that, Andre, for example, at the insurance would not have known me from Adam.
Right.
We're talking about the owner of the company sitting down with me for 45 minutes or so of his time.
Right.
And that is invaluable beyond anybody's comprehension.
Right. Right. And that's that really is an important thing, because the individuals that we got to sit down with are individuals who are very, very busy.
Yeah.
And willing to take some time out of their busy schedule to meet you.
Yeah.
Because of a relationship that I've got with them, and for you to be able to get all your questions answered and know for certain that this is the place that you want to come. So in closing, just, is there anything else that you would like to share for the person that's watching that is really looking at coming down here, and what they want to do is, you came for a week, we came for 8 days. Let me ask you this. If I wasn't in the picture, do you feel that you could have done this yourself?
No, not in any way. Because you and your contacts are unique. You're special people. These aren't the people you're just going to run across. When you see a shop and you go in there and you're going to hope for the best. Jim has already done that for you, and in a way that I couldn't have done, because of his personality, how honest he is, how trustworthy Jim is, his integrity. You're not going to find somebody like that on the corner. Jim is special. So if you guys are considering Lake Chapala, Ajijic area, you couldn't do any better than Jim.
Agreed.
Do you feel it was worth $400?
It's worth well over $400. I'm trying to get Jim to raise his price, but like he said, he doesn't want it to be a financial decision, but
Right.
it's worth more than 400 if you guys are on the fence.
Oh, yeah.
Would you say that what we were able to do has probably saved you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars?
I would say it did.
Yes, I think so too.
I would say it did.
Oh yeah.
A few years ago, Kathy and I made a trip to Mississippi. We were thinking about buying a place in Mississippi. And supposedly I can speak the language in Mississippi, but I was totally lost. It was a week before I figured out which way was up. So, yes, I think everything was well worth it.
Okay.
I am so much more relaxed. I'm dreading going home, actually. So, yeah.
And a lot of people tell me that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing, Gunter retires in the end of this year. We've decided that we're going to file a little bit earlier because now we want to get here in the next 4 or 5 months. We don't want to wait anymore. We were planning this time next year to be here. Now, after being here, we want to get here as soon as possible. So that's also something else that Jim helped us realize through everything he's done and showed us and people we've met, all through Jim. He's got amazing contacts.
And again, Jim makes it so much easier. Like I said earlier, I like to plan my things ahead of time. That's why I said maybe by the end of the year, early next year, we have all our ducks in a row and we can make that jump and come over. But with all the contacts that you provided us, that we literally saved a half a year.
Easily.
Where we could say, okay, let's just do it.
Got a chance to go to some great restaurants, and we just now had dinner and had a wonderful meal.
Mm-hmm.
And a shout out to to Angela and Herbert at La Fiesta.
Excellent.
Muy bien.
But today was a great event too, wasn't it?
Yeah, going to Guadalajara and seeing
Right.
the market. I mean, we covered like a tiny bit of what is there.
But Lou got a hat.
But Lou got a hat. I got to practice some of my Spanish.
Yeah.
And I think I saved him some money. So.
There you go. There you go.
Well, my my hopes was to meet Jim and buy a new hat. And so far, we've had great success there.
Well, I'll say our expectations were more than met because we even got to spend time with Barbara, and we really, really, really enjoyed spending time with her. You guys are a lovely couple, easy to be with, and thank you.
And I know you want to take Esme home, but you can't.
We can't have your dog.
Well, we're not gone yet, Jim.
Anxiety. Where do you find yourself right now from an anxiety standpoint?
It's a lot less because of the contacts and the insurance, the moving company. We're looking to bring a car down, and Jim hooked us up with a great, friendly, competent mover that can bring the car down from the States. The insurance agent, the health insurance agent, was fantastic. Just spelling out everything, not looking to hard sell or anything, just really good people. And I think those contacts are very valuable. To be surrounded by good people that you do business with and that you have friends with.
So, if to someone who's looking at coming here to check out Lake Chapala and retiring here, what would you say to that person?
Well, definitely you're going to want someone who knows the area, has contacts, and of course we highly recommend Jim. He has the contacts. He's reached out to people. We couldn't, go past 2 or 3 shops without somebody recognizing him, and Jim knowing the person, the shop owner or the restaurant owner.
Call everyone by name and knows their
and
family and that sort of thing.
So having someone like that
it's invaluable.
it's invaluable. I don't ever recommend just trying to come to a strange place that you know nothing about without something like this.
Well, definitely not when you're making a huge life decision.
Right.
If we were vacationing, that's a different. For me, my biggest advice to you coming here is going to be, to take a deep breath, because it is very different than what you think it is if you've never been here before. I don't care what you look at, how much you watch, what you've seen, what you've been told. Boots on the ground is incredibly, it's going to shatter any pre-notions you had about what you thought you know about Mexico.
And is there anything in closing that you'd like to say?
Yeah, I would definitely like to speak to the folks watching this. My wife and I are fairly well traveled, and we've done some things that maybe some other folks haven't, and we own property in another country other than the one we're from. We've kind of been through the not knowing process and the fear. Let's face it, there's a lot of fear and anxiety about an endeavor along these lines. Even that being said, we're not professionals, but even that like being said, it was so nice to come here and have you take us and really get us going in the right direction. And the fee that you charge is very reasonable, and there is such great value for the service that you provide, Jim. And like my wife said, you are so knowledgeable. The people you know, and the trusted relationships that you've been building here are very important. And that in itself is something that people really need to think about. You can really shortcut folks and take a lot of that fear and unknowing from folks that want to come here. You're a great asset, and we thank you very much for providing the service that you provide. Thank you, Jim.
I've had folks say that, well, they've watched all my videos, and they got a good feeling of what Lake Chapala is like. What would you say to something like that?
I would say you've got a smaller percentage than you think. There's a lot more when your feet hit the ground that you need to make decisions. Yeah, you have an idea. He's pointing you in the right directions, but it's when you're really there and Jim's with you that you get all this information, and you really feel the warmth from the people and the friendliness. And if that's something you're not finding back home and that's something you're looking for, this might be the place for you.
What was it that really made a big difference for you about being able to see the neighborhoods?
Well, I think we talked about this in the car ride, and it's really around perspective. And when you see realtor videos online, and you see a house, and you really don't understand, what's the drive to get there, and where is it located? You don't get that exposure,
right?
And to have you take us around to these different neighborhoods really helped us pinpoint those areas that really would fit our needs.
Something we talked about in the car, and I'll never forget it because they made the point. And I was talking about the fact that some people say they've watched all of our videos, and that they've got a good perspective of what Lake Chapala is all about. Mm-hmm. And then you said that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be here, boots on the ground,
That's right.
said.
That's right.
To really get a good feel of the totality.
That's right.
Of the way it is here.
Anyone can frame a video, and
right.
all you see is what's in that frame. But
right.
but being here, you see what's outside of that frame.
Right.
Right. And you can really take in the area.
Make no mistake, you're going to make mistakes when you're coming down. You're going to have, difficult times at best, but when you have somebody that is there here to facilitate that, it makes it a heck of a lot easier for people, everybody, including myself, to go home. I'm going home now with a whole arsenal full of information, which down here information is everything. Right. Reliable information is everything. And if you think you can get the reliable information on your own, well, I thought that too, and I was quickly squashed by every stretch of the imagination. It's more difficult than it seems.
Well, I do want you to know that it's been a pleasure being with you.
Yeah, and I want you to know something, because extending this further, I'm going to be coming down here the latter part of the year, and Jim will be down here, and we have developed a relationship to where I can trust him to be able to expand on what I'm doing at home, and have the confidence to know when I put on my flight wings and come back down here again and sign the contract, I'm going to know that I have had the best possible information that I can get legally and culturally and everything else that I could get. And it's all because of the fact that I luckily found somebody that I could talk to that understood what was going on.
Well, again,
I thank you, man.
It's been a pleasure being with you for this week.
Give me that hand.
And is there anything else you'd like to end with?
I'm going to say this is the guy you want because of his personality. He draws people that are similar to him, and those are just good people. So just take that for what it is.
Would you say to somebody who is looking at either visiting Lake Chapala or actually moving here to Lake Chapala, that if they in fact weren't, or if they were going to miss out or not do the relocation service with Me Take Them Out and all, would you say that they would be making a big mistake?
Yes, because they would be wasting time trying to figure out things instead of actually getting answers and doing the things they should be doing.
And here's probably the best thing about it, and that is Barbara and I have made new friends.
That's right. Well, Barbara and Jim.
So did we.
They generally
really nice.
love people. They have a lot of empathy. They just want to help. Amazing people. Yeah.
What, in our time together, we've been together for the last 2 days, what sticks out the most to you?
I think that you've been very, very helpful. I mean, that is obvious.
Would you like anything? Would you like to add anything?
Oh, I love it here. I just think it's great. Barbara and Jim are very gracious, and I appreciate them very much. And I think there's Jim's service is more valuable than what he charges. So, thank you for that.
And thank you for sharing that. So now you're here, and we've been together for 2 days. You folks wanted to be a part of me taking you out on the relocation service, and it was $400. My question to you is this: would you say that 2 days of being together to find out what you have found out and experienced and such was worth every penny?
For me, absolutely. Because there was still the stress of trying to figure out where everything is, you know, knowing who to see, knowing who to talk to find out information that we vitally need in order to come here.
Right.
And you gave us all the information that we needed. You took us to the right people, introduced us to, you know, who we needed to talk to about immigration, health care, and you just showed us around the whole area, the whole lake area, you know, pointing out different, like the hospital and different things that we would just need to know.
Right.
Which
things we didn't. It's things you don't know that you need to know, though.
Right.
So, like from the moment you got in the car with us, you had, well, actually, before we ever left the United States, you had already said, send me your list of your questions, what's important, what do you want, what do you need, anything that gave you direction, send me that list. And we did. And so from the moment you got in the car, you had it organized, thought, planned, called ahead, appointments, immigration lawyer, insurance agency, everything that when you're calm and you're sitting at home in the United States and you're just chatting about Mexico and you think, yeah, we need to do that, and we need to do that, and then, but you have no clue how to do it. And so you definitely helped us with things that we knew that we needed help with, and got not just information for us to figure things out, but we got answers. There's a huge difference. We didn't get brochures and call me if you have questions and emails. We got specific, customized answers to exactly what we were asking. And so that was absolutely invaluable.
we got to talk to some people that have been very important that you want to make connection with. We'll see tomorrow a place that you folks are looking at renting. Today we met with the insurance agent.
Yep.
And you guys are on track to get the insurance. And we also went to another health facility, and we've been to a restaurant for dinner last night that we really enjoyed
Very
being
nice,
at.
very good.
And we've been to the neighborhoods. And so do you think that if you came and were dropped out of a plane on a parachute in Lake Chapala, you would have been able to get done what we were able to get done in the amount of time that we got it done?
No, not at all. Not at all. And you may have been able to find an insurance person, or you may have been able to find a realtor, but you really don't know if they're shooting you straight, right? Yeah. And so what Jim has done over the past almost 2 years now has gotten these people together, these professionals, and he's done all that work, and that really matters, because you've got to know, right, what you're going to be dealing with and what you're getting into. So that's a great benefit of your service.
And I was going to ask you that. What would you say to somebody that's looking to come here and visit about having someone like myself taking them around, introducing them to people? I mean, would you say that it's a really important part of the equation of coming down here looking at retiring here?
I can tell you we would not be here if we didn't have you, because my wife would not have come, right?
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Because, there's a lot of anxiety, to come to somewhere foreign, right? And, my wife isn't a big adventurous, so knowing that we had someone here and that was looking out for our best interest was so important. And we couldn't have done it without you.
And you also you were having some issues with the Canadian cell phone.
Oh.
And so we went to Telcel.
Yeah.
And had a great experience there.
We did. This wonderful young woman, whose name, can I name her?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Dominique. Oh my gosh, I'm sure she had 100 things going on that day, but she arranged to meet us within a couple of hours, and 30 minutes had my issue solved, and so now I can call without hundreds of dollars of charges.
Yeah.
But she was incredible.
And even knew what to do to get the phone working too on top of that.
Yes, yeah, because I'm technically challenged.
In regards to your stress and anxiety level, outside of going out and checking places out on your own today, the fact of us being together and you getting a chance to get the questions answered and see the people you needed to see and to really experience, would you say that it exceeded your expectations?
Yeah, for me, yes. And it not only did it exceed expectations and was it just top-notch service and absolutely productive, but for me, it moved all of that stuff out of the way so that we can now more comfortably and in a more educated manner begin even looking for where we want to make home.
Right.
We couldn't even, for a while you can dream about it and talk about it and look at pictures and see things on the internet and you can love every house you see, but you can't concentrate on where is home going to be until you check all these boxes. So for me, it moved all that out of the way and got that done so that now we can dig in and decide where do we want to live as a family.
Right.
And for a person that has no real understanding of the cultural aspects of this place, limited understanding of the language, it means everything. When I came down here, in fact, I came from Denver specifically to see you and to look at this place, because I met you online through your YouTube channel, and through that I gained a trust just because of what I saw. I didn't know you at the time, but I have to take a chance every once in a while because I have a choice of doing it by myself or with somebody that has a handle on this. And for your people that that you trust, I'm going to be using them in the future because I am going to be moving down here, and I have to go through the processes at home that everyone here has told me what to do.
Right.
And so I can't
Right.
thank you enough and the people that you worked with and that you have had good relationships with. I can't thank you enough for that.
Well, and your thanks as well and heartfelt.
Yeah.
And I really believe that because of the fact that we were able to communicate before you came down.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly who you were wanting to see and the reasons of wanting to see, and then just having those appointments all set up to where we were able to go right into their office and they spend the time with us.
Yeah.
Because there were some that the conversations weren't just 15 minutes. I mean, some were a half hour, 45 minutes, even one was probably more around an hour.
Yeah.
And just the fact of being able to communicate and get a good feel about what's going on here